The country of the rising sun becomes brighter with every occasion lived by the people here. Japan, with its mixture of cultural and religious inhabitants, and with the diversity of its Asian nature and its uniqueness, the holy month of Ramadan presents an opportunity to revive the ceremonial and religious atmosphere that the majority of expatriates celebrate. Therefore, the details of the Ramadan scenes are made bright with the rites of their country and its customs, and they transfer towards the members of the community their values of religion, ethics, and tolerant teachings. To the west of Japan and across its sea, Ramadan lands on neighboring Korea, uniting the schedules of believers on worship and rituals. Muslims here, although few, were able to establish a distinctive Ramadan atmosphere, mixed with the magic of nature, with the magic of Ramadan's habits and rituals. Therefore, the mosques and homes become full of the atmosphere of faith, and hearts are keen on tolerance, goodness, and piety. Japan prepares to receive the holy month of Ramadan by providing a suitable environment for its Muslims, as it facilitates the granting of visas to people coming from outside the country to Muslim-majority neighborhoods, investing in the holy month's atmosphere that supports the economy of the country and encourages local Japanese tourism. As for the locals, Muslims prepare to receive the holy month with special hospitality and interest, which begins about 2 weeks before the arrival of the holy month through the purchase of various necessities, specifically related to Ramadan food items. Therefore, markets and specialized shops are filled with products that meet various needs. The mosques and Islamic centers are decorated with lights, and Muslims adorn the locations with decorations and lanterns in the places where they gather, so the atmosphere becomes full of charm and joy. The situation is not very different here in Korea, where you can encounter many shops that cater traditional foods for expatriate Muslims, such as foods, sweets, and everything related to the customs and traditions of the month of Ramadan. The Union of Muslims in Korea and the Islamic Center in Japan distribute calendars that contain the timing of fasting and iftar to various Islamic gatherings and meetings across the two countries. The mosques prepare to receive large numbers of Muslims throughout the day and night who perform various religious rites, creating a chance for them to meet and to answer questions that are associated with the holy month, and open the door for discussions about Islam and the definition of it and everything related to matters of fasting. The most prominent of these mosques is the Seoul Central Mosque in Korea, built in 1976 in the Itaewon district, where science classes are held in Ramadan and religious lectures in Arabic, Korean, and English as well as the Tokyo Mosque, or the Yuyugai Mosque in Shibuya, in the heart of Tokyo. This mosque accommodates about 2,000 worshippers during peak times. The building process of this mosque dates back to 1938, with a main minaret and dome that is 41 meters high. It is built in an old Ottoman style, forming an architectural masterpiece that the Japanese visit to know more about the Islamic architectural styles and to spend Ramadan days in its midst. The month of Ramadan in Japan is linked to the atmosphere of the crescent sighting, where Muslims and religious institutions mobilize to monitor it and preach about it as well. The people meet with a special committee of the Islamic Center to facilitate the matters of the holy month of Ramadan. They climb the roofs of skyscrapers and tall buildings in Tokyo and other cities such as Osaka and Yokohama to explore for the crescent, and if it cannot be seen, Muslims resort to the second option, which is fasting with one of the nearby countries. So the Islamic institutions announce the start of fasting for the month of Ramadan, and specifying the times of prayers for the Muslims in the region. Welcome phrases like Happy Ramadan or Blessed Ramadan are said between Muslims to express their joy in receiving the holy month. With the approach of iftar time, restaurants and food shops begin the preparations to provide food to the Muslims, where the Japanese institutions provide a guide displaying the spectrum of religions in their society and the local Muslim rituals during the month of Ramadan, and informing them of the meals approved by Islam to provide them with and meet all their needs with hospitality. While the houses of Muslims engage in worship and reading of the Quran, and atmospheres of joy and affection are prevailing, where everyone works together to prepare a Ramadan table, in which the Muslims of Korea eat rice, along with broth and rich spices and curry. As for Japan, a variety of grilled whale meat dishes are served with fresh vegetables, as well as famous dishes in the country. Sushi is a common dish, along with Japanese lentil soup, tempura, and miso soup. The expatriate Muslims are keen to keep their traditional dishes during Ramadan, while milk and dates remain necessary food items in both countries. The month of fasting is a unique painting that Muslims in Korea and Japan paint, which include details of Ramadan scenes from different countries and regions. So the different sects of the society intertwine in an atmosphere of familiarity, friendship, and social warmth. The most prominent feature of that atmosphere manifests in what some Japanese families do, as they prepare open iftar banquets in the gardens adjacent to their homes and include Japanese, Oriental, and Western food, in which they invite passerbys to share the Ramadan iftar with them. Larger banquets are spread inside the mosques in Korea and Japan, which are organized by Islamic centers in the two countries, as well as in-kind assistance provided by Muslims individually to the poor and the orphans, and charity and donations that the Muslims assign to their Muslim brothers and provide them with help and assistance. Following the footsteps of the Holy Prophet, may peace and blessings be upon him, and abiding by the saying of Allah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Allah has spoken the truth. Alongside one another, shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart, the Muslims of the two countries stand together to perform Taraweeh prayers inside the mosques of Japan and Korea, where the voices of the most famous readers are loud for all to hear. Japanese women are adorned by wearing homemade silk scarves that are specifically worn for prayer. Adults accompany their children to the house of God to teach them the principles of religion, where the Maghrib prayer forms a spiritual space in which hands are lifted towards the sky, praying to the Almighty Creator, placing their souls in the hand of their Creator in peace and reassurance. Everyone stands between the hands of the Creator of the heavens and the earth with humbled and reassured hearts.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
After the 15th day of Ramadan, the Muslims in Korea and Japan begin to prepare for the final 10 days, where these days are filled with joy in the pleasure of faith and piety. Muslims attend lessons in the science of jurisprudence and religion, and everyone strives to perform religious rites and gain greater rewards. They also present charity and donations. The mosques with their imams and pioneers revive the night of decree during the final odd days of the month, their hearts longing for its blessings and the reward of their worship. In the Muslim homes and in their mosques and their halls, the atmosphere here is surrounded by the true faith of believers, adorned by the voices of Muslims as they conclude reading the Holy Quran. And among their supplications and prayers, they stand in the hands of God. They pray and perform night prayers, after which they pay the Eid al-Fitr alms out of their own wealth, blessing and purifying their souls, and inciting a source of joy in the hearts of the believers who began to prepare for Eid. With the coming of Eid al-Fitr, the Muslims of Korea and Japan prepare to receive their blessed days. Despite the difference in their cultures, they prepare everything in markets and in Muslim-populated areas where the shops display their products and coordinate them to secure the needs of Muslim families, from food, new clothes, and toys for children. These preparations also reach the homes of the Muslims in Japan and Korea. The houses in which ladies prepare to receive visitors are cleaned and arranged to accommodate family gatherings of relatives and friends, where they exchange greetings in Eid and eat different dishes of sweets. On the top of this list of sweets is chocolate of Eastern and Western varieties, and other popular Japanese desserts that are more traditional, such as yucca and mango, while many of the expatriate families prefer to make traditional sweets, such as holiday cakes and other items that will be a source of joy and happiness during the holidays. Our journey to Korea and Japan is over. We will meet tomorrow to learn about the customs and traditions of another people through Ramadan in the Islamic world.
شرم